What's happening, to the extent you can tell us, with Taylor Swift? Because there was some reporting that you wanted to get the text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor, and that there was a potential for subpoenaing.
The wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband continues to dominate conversations, and many people have been speculating on the toll that could be taking on her relationship with the Canadian actor.
It's been months in the making, and I'm so proud to debut the trailer for our documentary, It Ends With Justice. Recent headlines seem to imply that Blake Lively's already won, but do not be fooled by this PR spin. Recent dismissal of Justin Baldoni's defamation cases doesn't mean the judge believed Blake Lively was telling the truth. It also doesn't erase the evidence against her. In fact, recent headlines only prove how badly they want the real story stopped.
Hollywood, a place of glamour, fame, and fortune, often hides a darker side, one filled with jealousy, ambition, and the kind of scandal that shakes the very foundations of the industry. One name that's now tangled in a web of public drama is Blake Lively. For years, she has maintained her spot as one of Hollywood's favorite actresses. But recently, a whirlwind of legal disputes and accusations has caused the public's perception of her to change. Alongside her husband, the beloved Ryan Reynolds, Blake has found herself facing public scrutiny, legal action, and a storm of rumors. But the real question remains, what's the truth behind the headlines? And what role does Ryan Reynolds play in all of this?
The wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband continues to dominate conversations, and many people have been speculating on the toll that could be taking on her relationship with the Canadian actor. However, just because it seems like the overwhelming majority of public sentiment is in favor of Justin Baldoni and against the Khaleesi wannabe, that doesn't bother him whatsoever. Alanis Morissette's ex-boyfriend took to social media to share a very public show of support for the B-list adjacent actress. Taking to his IG, Van City Reynolds posted this. Aww. And I really just wanted to use this video as an excuse to let you comment on it.
In Hollywood, appearances are everything. And it's no secret that Ryan and Blake have mastered the art of appearing perfect together. However, experts have started to question the true nature of their relationship. Perez Hilton, a body language expert, has weighed in on the couple's recent public appearances, pointing out subtle signs that suggest all is not as it seems. There's a stark difference between what's presented to the public and what's actually happening behind the cameras. Could there be cracks in their otherwise picture-perfect marriage? Or is it just another PR stunt to make everything seem normal in the eyes of their fans?
It's been months in the making, and I'm so proud to debut the trailer for our documentary, It Ends With Justice. Recent headlines seem to imply that Blake Lively's already won, but do not be fooled by this PR spin. Recent dismissal of Justin Baldoni's defamation cases doesn't mean the judge believed Blake Lively was telling the truth. It also doesn't erase the evidence against her. In fact, recent headlines only prove how badly they want the real story stopped. We need this documentary now more than ever, and you can still be a part of it. Stay tuned to the end of this video to learn more. It doesn't end with this. It's only just getting started.
Despite what might seem like a loving partnership, the tension doesn't stop there. Ryan Reynolds' deep involvement in Blake Lively's recent project, It Ends With Us, has raised eyebrows. Even though Ryan wasn't the director of the film, he played a significant role in rewriting scenes. This move mirrors what Blake did with Deadpool, a situation that stirred its own controversy. Some critics argue that Ryan may be overstepping his boundaries by injecting himself into the creative process. But could his involvement be more than just supporting his wife? Is Ryan attempting to exert control in this situation?
Because on IG story, you can't comment, you can't talk with each other, but here you can. And look at them. There's a little bit of distance. Body language reveals to me, Perez Hilton, body language expert, that his pursed smile and her overly exaggerated big grin is a defense mechanism. Underneath this charade, there is strain. but publicly they want us to believe all is good. Not only did the actor who rewrote some scenes in her movie It Ends With Us share this very public smiley photo, which reminds me, Tim Miller, who directed the first Deadpool movie, wasn't smiling much during production of that because he pulled a Blake Lively. Remember? Even though Ryan Reynolds was not the director of the film, he ended up doing what Blake Lively did on It Ends With Us, on the very first Deadpool movie. So, this man is very aware of optics and every aspect. It's not just about a normal night out in New York City, happy wife, happy-ish husband, but the song choice is also very important. Accompanying this picture was Hootie and the Blowfish's I Only Wanna Be With You. So if you had any doubt whatsoever, and I quote, "You and me, we come from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at other girls." Okay, I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. "Sometimes you're crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby because the dolphins make me cry. Well, there's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you. You look at me, you've got nothing left to say. I moan and pout at you until I get my way. I won't dance, you won't sing. I just want to love you. But you want to wear my ring. Well, there's nothing I can do. I only want to be with you." Aww. All right, just leave some comments down below. Thoughts on this, thoughts on them, thoughts on Dustin Baldoni, thoughts on the legal proceedings. Let's chitty chat, okay?
Ryan's constant involvement in Blake's work has sparked reactions from industry insiders, with some going so far as to claim that his actions may be less about supporting his wife and more about controlling the narrative. As Blake's legal battles with Justin Baldoni intensify, many believe that Ryan's interventions might be a subtle way of manipulating the situation. The stakes have grown much higher as accusations against Blake continue to mount, and the spotlight is no longer just on her, but on Ryan's role in these mounting controversies. If the accusations hold any truth, it would shed a completely different light on Blake's image. The idea that she would use her friendships and threats to manipulate those around her is a chilling thought, especially coming from someone whose public persona revolves around being a beacon of positivity and girl power. Could this alleged threat to Taylor Swift tarnish Blake Lively's career for good? And what impact will it have on her reputation in Hollywood? While the legal proceedings unfold, public opinion is divided. Some still rally behind Blake, believing she is the victim of a smear campaign. Others, however, are starting to question whether the image she's built over the years is simply a façade. If the truth behind the allegations becomes clear, what happens to the star who has been synonymous with girl power in Hollywood? The stakes have never been higher, and the public's trust in Blake could be on the line. With each passing day, the mystery deepens. As new evidence is discovered and more voices come forward, the narrative surrounding Blake Lively becomes more complex. Is she truly a victim of circumstances, or has she been using her influence to manipulate the situation in her favor? While Ryan Reynolds continues to stand by her side, the truth of their private lives is still shrouded in mystery. With legal and media battles swirling, it remains to be seen how this story will ultimately unfold.
What's happening, to the extent you can tell us, with Taylor Swift? Because there was some reporting that you wanted to get the text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor, and that there was a potential for subpoenaing Taylor Swift, in this case, via document subpoena to get her texts and possibly even a deposition. And then that her father allegedly came to you and said, "I will tell you what's in the text. And the reason I'll tell you is because Blake Lively's threatening my daughter, Taylor Swift, that if she doesn't speak out on Blake Lively's behalf, that Blake Lively's going to retaliate in some way. So tell us what you can.
Sure. Just out of respect for, people that aren't parties to the lawsuit, there's not a whole lot that I can get into. But I think that people who are relevant to the case and people who, have otherwise been with people from the beginning of the case, side by side, shoulder by shoulder, are potentially witnesses in the case. And so, those are things that we need to look into. Those are things to see, what in addition to what we know already, we need, and then to move forward and obtain that discovery. There's a short leash on how far we can go with discovery. I think the judge has made it very clear that, third parties need to be directly relevant to claims. And we think certain third parties are directly relevant, but it's just whether or not you need that evidence in addition to what you have already.
Are you able to say whether you believe or have reason to allege that Blake Lively threatened Taylor Swift if she did not come out and speak on Blake's behalf?
The truth is, I don't think I should speak on it. I think we should wait and see, how the evidence, ferrets out on that. I think, look, I think we've all, those who have looked at the timeline, those who have looked at all of the documents that have been put forth. There's more video evidence. I mean, there's video of this is a film shoot, right? Like there's filming of the film shoot, right? I mean, Megan, you saw the scene, where they're dancing, and everyone can judge for themselves. Again, we're dealing with people who look at a scene and say, the sky is not blue. What do you mean? That blue is not blue.
Right.
And I think that will forever be the case. But, fortunately, she doesn't get to be a juror along with being, the plaintiff. So we'll have different people that'll be the jurors, and hopefully they'll be able to see the sky's blue.
The battle is only beginning, and Hollywood is watching closely. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the many players involved in this drama are about to face a reckoning. As the truth continues to unravel, one thing is certain. This is far from over. Will Blake emerge victorious, or will the truth about her actions finally catch up with her? Only time will tell.